about the Osimhen. We're gonna Yo, my people, how are doing? I like the vid, guys. Like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button, like the vid, guys. Like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button. So, guys, we're gonna just talk about some of the news that has been going on in this year. We're gonna talk about the transfer news. The players have landed in America for the club World Cup. We start on Monday. We're also gonna talk some of the transfer. My goodness, this is my first time of hearing his name. Nick, what is it? Watermode? Oh Lord have mercy. We're gonna talk about him too. I've kind of watched some analytics about him. Look at the kind of player he is. We're gonna talk a little bit about him. We're gonna talk about Florian Wirtz. We're gonna talk about the Ziggy what I'm gonna talk about the ins of incoming of the Chelsea players and outgoings too. And yeah, we're gonna say also we're gonna just chip in a little bit to run talk with those Osimhen talk because yesterday I was listening to a Legbet TV on Playback. I don't know if you guys listen to Playback a lot and he spoke a lot about the Osimhen in terms of the everything. We're gonna just a little bit just talk about it in terms of that. Like the big guys, subscribe, smash the like button. How you guys doing today? You guys are doing fine, everything fine with you guys?
Yeah. All good on this
So
end, man. All good.
let's talk. Let's start with Florian Bet. My first question with Florian Bet is does it worth 150? That's the question. Because I don't think he worth the money. He's a talented player, but I do not think he worth 150 million in the market. But the market has been inflated where any performance he performs for like one season is gonna skyrocket. Same thing with Ekitike. I don't think Ekitike worth 100. Frankfurt is the selling club, so it's a little bit complicated. Especially a Bundesliga club where you just a player. It's weird because inflation are getting to transfer now where any little performances is gonna skyrocket when you have like does it really worth this money? So my big question is does Florian bet 150 million? I don't think he worth it. But again, he is a talented player where I believe his potential is sublime. He's a talented player where he's a lovely player to watch. When you watch him play, like wow, what a player. What a player. That's kind of how good of a player. That's how much I rate him. That's how much I rate Florian Wirtz. He is a talent. And him going to Liverpool under the new regime, under Slots, Salah, Van Dijk and Co. That brother will cook. Again, I also have some question mark on Bundesliga player. But with Florian Wirtz, I don't doubt his ability. That brother is an elite of a player. He's very good. He's very good. So crazy. Does he worth the money? Does he?
It's difficult to say. I mean, somebody has paid the amount for him, 150 million euros. Somebody has paid that for him. Whether he's worth that will only tell when he comes to the league and performs. I've not really seen much of Florian Wirtz. I saw him on the play in the national side a couple of
Yeah.
times. He looked like a very
Mm-hmm.
technical player, but I will not lie, Bundesliga tax has hit us bad before.
Mm-hmm.
It feels seeing that amount, seeing the player, it feels a bit like the Harvest situation all over again. I remember I was very hyped when Harvest was going to come to Chelsea, and you could see that he was a very quality player playing in the Bundesliga. However, how that translates to the Premier League is a whole different ball game. Whether he's worth that
Mm-hmm.
amount, it is. I don't think any player is worth up to 100 m. But this is the transfer market right now. This is the way prices. People like
Mm-hmm.
clubs just quote insane amounts of players left, right, down, and center. So I'm not surprised at the figure. However, for a player of that fee, he has to
Mm-hmm.
deliver a lot. There will be a lot of pressure on him. This is not one of those 007 performances. You have to give us hat tricks plus in your first 4 3 games. So yeah, that's it for me. I can't really say whether it's worth it or not. Liverpool has paid the fee, so let's see what he can deliver when the season starts. But definitely, I am very excited to see him in the Premier League. Having that level of quality in the Premier League, it just means the level of entertainment will be different. And watching him as a neutral, it's going to be obviously when he's playing against us. I'm going to wish him the very worst of worst. But when he's playing against other teams, I definitely want to see the quality he brings to the table, and I'll be looking to see why Liverpool are willing to pay 150 million euros for him. So yeah, that's my take on it. Dari, I don't know if you have
Yeah,
something to say on the third
the
situation as
price
well.
the price tag of what the thing is that it's just he's a good player. You know, didn't dispute the fact, but the price tag is just. I just hope he show like the words, and I hate putting players in position. I feel for players. The price tag is like a pressure to him now. You will have to you know do all things in his power now to like please the fans, like to give all his best. That shows us with Casedo, when Casedo was bought for 100 plus, you see how that pressure was mounted on him. The first match, the guy really flopped, but you could see him now, like, nobody's talking about the price tag. For me, just work your work and nobody talk about that price tag any longer. But for me, when I saw the news, I was like, this is not a statement signing. We have something they call a statement sign. This is not a statement signing. It's just like, you know, you are throwing money, just throwing money. He's a good player, but that money is much. 150, oh, much, so much, very much for 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 him. And also, let's just see how he will do well in the Premier League. I'm just hoping for him, but I'm wishing him well. I know what he's capable of. Fantastic player, but that price tag is just like a pressure.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, what I'm gonna say, he's a talented player. I'm not doubting his ability, but this is my first time of seeing Liverpool spend that big of a play. I know they wanted to do for Caicedo, but Caicedo chose Chelsea ahead of Liverpool. But this is my first time seeing that after they played Van Dijk, I believe Alisson Becker then. This is my first time of them going above 100. And now this is the pressure with Florian now. He has to really perform because EPL will humble you, whether you like it or not. He will humble him. EPL will humble him. That doesn't mean it won't be. It's not a good player. I also think because the way Liverpool is being constructed with the experience like Van Dijk, Salah and Co, he won't have too much, how do I put it? He won't struggle too much because those players will put him in the right position for him to succeed with the managers too, with the environment, because environment is very important for players. And I think having that kind of experienced players with him will make him perform very well. But again, if you come to a stage where sometimes the pressure will be too much from that, they might overwhelm a little bit. What does the mentality is? What kind of mentality does he have that in a big occasion he can perform? I don't have his ability, but I'm looking at the price tag. It's big. But what makes me happy is thank God people will stop talking about Casemiro and Enzo anymore when the record signing. At least we can have rest of mind. People will stop talking about them anymore. But with that McLaren best for me, he's a talented player. I don't think he worth 150. Max, I think he worth maybe 70, maybe. That's maybe. I do not think he worth 150. But again, Bundesliga club, Frankfurt, Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, they will not say player less for you. They will say player with high money, which I don't even believe this kind of player worth that money. But because of the market, where the market is right now, what can I say? It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough. And I also want to see their schedule. When the Premier League schedule comes out, I want to see who they face first, the Champions League who they face, because that will determine how it's going to settle in terms of the team. Does it settle very well in the Does it a little bit? Does it shrink or collapse a little bit in terms of, oh my god, I'm facing the pressure. How can I make it work? So it depends on how this kind of situation work for me to be able to judge him though. He's a talented player, I have no doubt. He's a talent. I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him. His talent though. Between him and Jamal Musiala, they are very talented player. Between him and Musiala, they are talent player. They are very, very talented. I don't doubt the ability. I do not. But do you guys think he might struggle based on the price tag, or you want to see how he involved in the team? Because I believe he will struggle, but not too much because of the experience players he has in the team.
What I want to say is that, do you know, where if the team plays very good, it should help him and relieve the pressure. It's
Mm-hmm.
what we just don't becoming just that banter stuff that, okay, you are signed for like 150, you are not making up to that. But if the
Mm-hmm.
team is playing well, you know, it's a good thing for him. We can see it in the likes of Man City when Pep signed Grealish. The team were doing well
Yeah.
also. Doku also, the team were doing well, but not that these people are, actually putting more influence in the game. The impact in the
Mm-hmm.
game is not as much, but when the team is doing well, the criticism is not that loud. It's not like how
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea has been in shit now. The criticism of Enzo and Casado
Caicedo.
was very large
And
up
I want to see
to.
what Jamie Carragher say, because Carragher has been criticizing Caicedo. He's been bashing
Thank
Caicedo a lot on the
you, thank
social
you,
media.
thank you.
He
You
has been
remind
he's
me.
been coming he's been coming out. Oh my goodness. Jamie
Let's
Carragher almost want to kill Caicedo. I want to see
let's
what
see
he's gonna say
let's
about
see
Florian Wirtz.
let's see what he will have to say.
I want to see what he's gonna do, man. I want to see what he's gonna do, because he's been talking about Chelsea this, Chelsea that. Caicedo, thank God Caicedo is in Champions League now. It will show him how good a player he is. I don't know, but again, I want to see what he's gonna do in terms of Florian. But does he be a little bit harsher, or does it be like, give him time, he will perform, he just keeps it in the lowlies? I want to say, because I know Sandra very well. He doesn't like to say the truth. He will start to cover himself up. So we'll see. We'll see. Cozy, do you think he's gonna struggle a little bit, or you think because of the experienced player he has in the team, it will a little bit be easier for him to kind of adapt? Because EPL is different when it comes to physicality and match up. It's very, very better than Bundesliga.
Um, well, firstly, I would say at that price, 150 million euros, I would be expecting
Mm-hmm.
the level of performance Palmer had in his first season with Chelsea. I think they both play in
That's
similar
big. Oh.
roles,
Palmer
so
took
I'll
the
be
penalty.
expecting.
Salah is the penalty taker for them. Crazy. The difference is Palmer is the penalty taker.
Well,
Salah is the penalty
even
taker. It's gonna be difficult.
even if you take away even when you take away the penalties, Palmer's creation metrics are still very high in the first season. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not just the penalty. Overall creation, his ability on the ball, it was unmistakable in the first season. So even when you
Yeah.
take away the penalties, his performances were still
Mm-hmm.
high, and I'll be expecting that from Wirtz in for a player of that price. Regardless, I will be expecting his influence on the game. He will be carried,
Yeah.
obviously, walking into a team with experience, with having already quality players like Salah, a big name
Van
like that,
Dijk,
is going
Salah.
to
Yeah.
help him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to help him, obviously, but the touchlight will still be on him. It's one, the fact that Jurgen Klopp, and the whole idea of Liverpool has been that they do things the right way. They don't spend big, even though
Mm-hmm.
they have the most expensive defender, they have the most expensive goalkeeper, and
Goalkeeper.
all of that. But
Mm-hmm.
they always tease this notion. Even Klopp before he left, would say they cannot spend like that. So the fact that Liverpool has spent that amount is going to put pressure on him. And by the time you now add things like crazy people like Carragher, saying
Mm-hmm.
whatever they like saying in the media, and then trying to um play down the quality of some players like Caicedo, because of their price tag, he is going to come under heavy scrutiny. And the pressure is going to be on him. So even when Liverpool perform well, unlike Grealish, who went under the radar because really nobody really cared about Grealish like that.
Because it's
Somebody
insane,
like
yeah.
Florian Wirtz going to a club like Liverpool, yeah, going to a club like Liverpool, there's going to be a lot of pressure. So even when Liverpool win games, people are still going to be pointing out like, okay, this guy he didn't influence the game much because at the 150, that amount is huge. At 150 million euros, I expect you to, you know, 4 out of 5 games, I expect you to have at least 2 or 3 man of the match performances.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of level of expectations I have. So this is not going to be he needs to adjust. He needs to know. He will have to. He will be forced to hit the ground running from game
And
one.
their first match, their first match is
That's the
against
level
Crystal
of pressure
Palace
he's going to be
because
under.
you
So
know they
he
won
may
the
fold. This
league.
is the thing now. What we expect of him, he may not be able to deliver. He may be able to deliver. So it's one of two things. Either we get Grealish 2.0 or oh, wow.
Yeah, for me because their first match is against Palace because Palace won the FA Cup and then they
So
won
yeah,
the
I
Premier
mean
League. So the Community Shield is
it's
gonna be the first match in
man,
August.
I'll be watching Liverpool with a keen eye, but the pressure on him is going to be much. That's just what I'll say. The pressure on him. So regardless of the support which he has, and it's very significant, you can't take that away. He will still have
Mhm.
a lot of pressure on him. So he has to deliver. 150 million euros will be small money. He has to deliver.
I agree. I agree. Yes, I agree. I would love to see what will happen because in America here we use CBS to actually watch Champions League and when Carragher and that kind of analysts were just laugh. And the person I respect most when I last was Thierry Henry because Henry doesn't lie to you. Henry will tell you exactly how it is, whether you hate him or like him. He will be vocal. Carragher is a bit like this. It will tell you it will say it's mine, but it will be a little bit sarcastic when they talk about it, which I don't like. Right? Henry will not lie. Henry will come out and tell you this because that's kind of way he view things. Whether you like him or not, it's on you to decide on that. But he will say his own mind. I want to see how they're gonna in terms of assess the games and when it comes to Florian bet science and everything. I want to see how they kind of analyze it though for me to be able to see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I want to talk about this new Nick, whatever is Nick Water Is that how to pronounce whatever his name is? Lord have mercy. I'm gonna just call him Nick. I've watched some clips about him and I've kind of watched some analytics about him in terms of what kind of attacker he is and everything. I like what I see in him, but again, it's a complicated situation to I'm having right now because if you're gonna bring a player like that in, are you selling Jackson? Is that what you're telling us? Or who are you gonna who are you gonna be putting on the bench? Because based on what Matlow said, we are look after buying Gittin, we are buying another after Gittin, we're gonna buy another player again. Estaval is coming on the right, buying Gittin on the left. And who's gonna play on the left again? You showed what's called the left guard of Sancho. You need another wing. That's why I said you need two wingers on the left, not just one. You need two on the left. So are you going to buy one more wingers and then another 10? So they are looking into buying, I think, two. They want to buy a striker, two wingers. They're looking to buy two wingers based on what McLeod said in his article to this morning. Chelsea is going to buy after buying a Gittin, they'll buy one more wingers. Then they'll look into the number 10 situation. Either Kudus or Morgan Rogers will be bought. And I think he said they also keep an eye on Noni Madueke being sold. I'm like, interesting. Madueke being sold. That's interesting. So I'm like, I understand bringing Gittin. If you're gonna bring a Bano Gittin, who are you buying again? That's my own take. Who are you buying? You can't just keep Gittin on the left wing. They're buying someone else. I don't want him to be the first 30. I want him to come from the bench because after him, we don't have any other person. I'm not sure of George yet if it's kind of ready at the moment to start the Premier League match because of the pressure and everything. So you need one more winger to be able to go into the market. And remember, AFCON is in December. Some of the African players will go into Nations Cup. So sometimes you might need to rotate, rest players, change formation, style of play, and everything. So you might have to kind of rotate a lot of players. It's a situation where you have to be able to have enough squad depth to challenge. If you don't have enough squad depth to challenge for me, it's gonna be very difficult for you to even win a league or even talk about winning Champions League for me. So if you buy Daniel Gates, what are you buying again? And I'm hearing Alejandro Garnacho. Lord have mercy. For people who knows me, I'm a big fan of Garnacho. Not just because it's my Tottenham, but I believe looking at our wingers, apart from Palmer, I don't think our wingers is better than Garnacho. Garnacho, what is suffering for United is for me is suffering from a one system situation environment. That guy needs coaching. If you coach him in a proper environment, Garnacho will play football. People say that attitude. He has attitude because he believes he's better than the players he has in the team. If a player believes he's better than them, yes, I can't discredit that. I cannot. If he believes he's good enough, he's good enough. But what I'm gonna say is, you need a better environment where you can elevate his team and show how good of a player he is. So I want to see what they do with Kudus. Kudus is like what Matt said, it's a dream signing for Chelsea, the number 10, because we do not have a ball carrier in the team. The last ball carrier we have in the team was Matej Kovacic. We don't have a ball carrier. So Rogers is a ball carrier. Mohamed Kudus is a ball carrier. There are players that can carry the ball. When the team sits back at you, you need someone that can commit defenders, cause fouls, cause penalty. Kudus is that player. So are they looking into buying not overloading the squad, but having enough squad depth in case, because we're gonna be playing so many matches apart from the Club World Cup. You play Champions League, you play Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. The Champions League this is different than the other Champions League. It's a league phase. You will play so many matches, so you have to be able to rotate enough players to avoid injuries. So what are you guys thinking? Crazy. What are you guys thinking? Based on what Matlow said, the squad and everything.
Yeah, so definitely squad depth is very important going into the new season. But firstly, let me say this. Garnacho needs coaching. He should go to somewhere far away from Chelsea to go and get that coach. I don't want to see that young man anywhere near Chelsea. We have struggled with look, we have struggled with potential. I mean, we even brought in experience, in quotes, experienced player like Pedro Neto, and we are still struggling with potential FC. So I do not need an addition of that again. We already have that coming in with Gittins is most likely going to come to Chelsea, so we still have that there. Um, with our incomings, one thing I can't see for sure on the flanks is this. If Chelsea get
Mm-hmm.
another striker again, I don't know this
Yeah.
Ekiti Pikin, Ekiti
Ekitike
Abi
and
wetin
then
sef.
what model? That's the name though. What model?
Okay, yeah. So Ekiti and Watermelon. If Chelsea gets either of them, I see probably Jackson going to the flanks. But at the same time, again, Chelsea are, even though they are not looking to sell, but if an offer comes in, they may sell Jackson. So it's difficult to tell exactly the way these people want to build the squad right now. But the bottom line is we're going to have a lot of games. Starting now, okay, the Club World Cup is being regarded as a continuation of last season, so it means the season has not
Mm-hmm.
ended. So that means these players have not gotten rest. Um, so they will play up until, and if we are able to make it to the final of the Club World Cup, that means by the
Mm-hmm.
time the Club World Cup is done, we would have like a week or two before
No,
the
three
season
weeks.
starts.
Three
So
weeks.
3 weeks, I
3 weeks.
mean, yeah, 3 weeks.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
3 weeks before the season starts. So it will be a very it will be very, very hectic. And if we do not have the proper squad depth, even if it's not just having plenty options, it's having options that can deliver in the absence of others, because players like Cucurella, players like Caicedo, these are very important, significant players that we simply must find a way to give them rest. But
Yeah.
if we want to compete next season, when we give them rest, the standard they give cannot drop. So their replacements
Yeah.
have to be equally as good as them. So
I agree.
filling up the squad with players is not really the thing. It's the quality of players that are coming in. And right now, you can't vouch for the quality of players that are coming in because it's mostly potential FC. It's not like the players are bad. It's just that you cannot trust them to deliver the same way when they come to the league. Even
Mm-hmm.
Gittens, right? He's coming to a new league. By the time he comes in, there's going to be time where he needs to, because he's not a finished article. He's still going
Yeah.
to need time
Mm-hmm.
to adjust all of that. So all those variables are in there. So yes, I agree largely with what Matt Law said. However, I can't tell the direction where we're headed in terms of the signings, right? I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how we're going to end up at the end of the day. If another striker comes in, does Jackson leave?
Mm-hmm.
Do we keep
Yeah,
Jackson
yeah,
as an
yeah. He
option
said,
on
he
the
said, he
plan?
said. This is what he said. He said because of what happened last season with two striker in the last ending of the transfer window, there was nobody to rely on. So they are looking into buying a striker. They are looking to buy two wingers on the left wing. They already have Estabal coming in, so there's Pedro, there's Madueke. That's three wingers on the right. One of them will go, which is Noni. He already said it. Keep an eye on Noni. He will leave. If you're gonna bring in another striker to compete with Delap and Jackson, then it's telling me you're having three striker. One of Jackson and Delap has to leave. It's gonna be Jackson for me. So what tells me is Chelsea want two left winger, um, two right winger, a number 10. They're gonna be a supporting backup to Kopama. I can actually sometimes, if the team is, I can actually also play as a striker too, because Kudus can also play as a striker too. If you want him to play as a first nine, he can do that also too. So they are looking at an hybrid of a left wing, middle player, and a striker. That's what they're looking at.
Okay, okay. I mean, if we do so, ultimately at the end of the day, the most significant distance is finding that hybrid. If we can land
Mm-hmm.
that player,
Yes.
it will save, like it will
Because
basically give Maresca.
Can do it. Ekitike can play on the left. He can play as a first nine. He can play as a number 10. What you want him to do, he will do it. But the money for me,
Mm.
but Matlock said it's not about the money. He said if Chelsea they can set Felix and Okonkwo, they can afford Ekitike.
Well, this is the thing. Nkunku, yes, we may be able to sell him, but for Felix, I'm not sure.
Lord have mercy.
We signed Felix. Felix was signed for around I think 46
Yeah,
pounds,
for the
million
five.
pounds.
Mm-hmm.
45, okay, yes, 45 million pounds. I don't see anybody. I'm not sure we can even get an offer of up to 30 million pounds for him right now. I'm not
Bro,
sure
if you get that
anybody
money,
can
just
give.
take it and run away. Take it and run away. Oh. Take it and just
That's what
run.
I'm saying. I'm not even sure anybody will even give us up to that right now, because the player is his quality is still there, but then the unstable nature of how he has been moved, from clubs to clubs, and the fact that he has not been able to settle. When he went to AC Milan, I figured maybe, Italian clubs
Mm-hmm.
they are broke clubs, but I thought maybe something can happen there, and even there, nothing. So it's difficult seeing us find. I think at the end of the season we may just loan out Felix again. From Kunku, yes, there is a big. In fact, for him, I feel yes, this is a we'll be able to sell him. But for Felix, I don't see that happening. But anyway, let's see how the club does. When the window opens again on the 16th of June. Let's see how the
Mm-hmm.
club does with the previous deals that they were working on, the Gittens, the Magic Mike, and see how we move from there. And then also the links. One thing that has stood out for me is that most of these reports that we have gotten, bids, official bids from Chelsea have not actually been stated. Like for Gittens, I don't think a bid was made. Or okay, I think a bid was made and these guys increased the fee. And then for Mike, so outside of these two players, the other players is just links like the watermelon guy and Ekiti Pikin. So, but let's see how things go when the window opens again. It will be interesting to see, though. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, Larry, your take on this quote based on what Matlock said. Because what Matlock said for me, in terms of what he said, that's exactly what I want in this quote. Because we need, especially, see, We can talk about EPL. You see that Champions League, it drains you a lot. You need squad depth. It drains you a lot. You need squad depth to be able to at least win. And the way Maresca play, if you look at Maresca, the way he coach this player, it does not overwork them. It doesn't overwork them. Because you understand injuries will come in, he will have to rotate players. It does not overwork them. But again, this Champions League, it's not play because you play Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. You have to rest there, you have to rotate. You have to also keep, like what Crazy he said, the quality. Someone that is coming in has to have the same quality as the person coming out from the bench. The quality has to be high. If not, why are you replacing player when the quality is not there? So you need that kind of replacement where somebody is coming out, somebody is coming in. Okay, good. We can rotate and play. And I'm happy with the midfield. Now fix the attack and the defense and the goalkeeper. Let's go. So go ahead. Daryl, go ahead.
Okay. I was thinking about this, that how are we going to go into the seasons? Okay, or like the Champions League, how are we going to cope with our wings problem? And looking into our squad, I think we only had the only good left wing winger that we had. I think is only Neto, because Madwiki probably on the right, and we don't know the case with Modric also.
The problem is, this is where when I listen to Matlow, I'm like, very interesting Matlow. Estaval is coming in July when the Club World Cup finished. He's joined into the squad immediately. He will train with the team in Cup. Regardless of where we finish in the Club World Cup. And I hope we win it.
But Maresca won't start him immediately.
Yes, I know. I know.
Definitely. So,
but again, there is politics. He might start him because of the hierarchy upstairs. He might because I don't trust. I'll tell you again. Clearly, I don't trust them.
They should allow him to do his job, please. So,
it's clearly, I'm not sure. Okay. That's my feeling. They should allow him to do his job, but we clearly allow him to do it. I don't know.
I pray good things, come true, because as the other speakers made his points, we keep on having potentials. We need something, all we have is potentials. We need the real deal. Good things coming. It's another potential. So it's not a guarantee that okay, this guy is going to give us like number of goals and assists in a season or stuff like that. But we just need him just to fill in that space, because currently we are lacking behind. Honestly, checking our attacks, and let's say the striking position, according to them, the striking position is good. Okay, they have got that sorted, but the wings, no, it can't go that a long way. And this other, I saw a German under-20 guy.
Yes, his name is Nick. What I'm like, what I'm gonna call him Nick. That's it. Just Nick. That's it. I'm sorry. That's it. Just call him Nick.
I saw the news. I was like, is this sporting directors not tired of this kind of player? Give me a proven signing, please.
Bro, I don't tire. I don't tire.
Give me a proven signing. I'm not saying the guy is shit or something, but this club is not an experiment house for players to come and prove their worth. Maybe if they will pick up or they will not. So that's the thing. So I just pray, I hope the sporting directors, go to the business, since the transfer window is still wide open. They will probably pull up some strings.
Based on what Matlo said, are you worried for some players, because he mentioned a lot today, and I'm like, we talk about buying Eto, the highest player, who might be like a backup to Cucurella. You also talk about Mohamed Kudus, Morgan Rogers, Ekitike. So it talks about a lot because it just wanted to He said why the reason Chelsea are. And he also talk about goalkeeper too, which made me interested. We might go for Mike Mayan back. He talk about goalkeeper. I'm like, very interesting because if they sell Petrovic, there is a chance Sanchez also will leave. There's a chance because they're about to sell Petrovic and receive their money. And if Sanchez leave, we have to go into the market and buy a goalkeeper. And people like Donnarumma and Matt it's not about buying Donnarumma, it's about the wages. Donnarumma is not going to let you 150. I'm sorry. You have to pay Donnarumma very high wages for it to be able to even tempt it out of PSG. So I don't know. Their ways of thinking is complicated for me. I don't know. So it talks a lot about a lot of stuff. Which I'm like, I can see it happening, but again, it's tough because you have to actually spend a lot of money. And what if that can happen is I think this club World Cup will also help because if we win it, then it give the club a leeway in terms of spending more in the transfer market, not afraid of spending by winning because they know they have enough money. But again, I don't trust Clear League also too because even if they would, do I really tell them to go to the market and spend? I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure because they won't buy the right profile of player. We're in Champions League. All we've bought this season is the lab. That's it. That's it. That's it. So I don't really trust this club when it comes to buying. That's it. So it's a complicated situation when it comes to that situation for me, though. It's complicated. So are you worried about what Matt Loss said in terms of that, in terms of looking at Kudus, looking at Morgan Rogers, buying two wingers? Noni might potentially go because of Estaval. Because if Estaval comes in, see, one of Neto and Noni will leave. That one, I'm sure, one of Neto and Noni will leave. There's no way. Estaval is already coming in.
I think it will be Noni because, Noni, I think the guy has countless time been on, rumors about him. One time joining Newcastle also. So I think he's the one to leave.
That's the place where I think he will go. That's where I think he will go.
And I think like he's probably being the one to fetch us money because Noni, what's his name? Neto is just settling. I would say Neto is still settling, but Noni, Madueke, at least, I don't know how the sporting directors are going to put it. We might also ship him off. That is it. But my whole problem is that the only thing I'm just concerned about this Kudus links is that I don't know. I'm not just feeling it. I'm not feeling the Kudus deal of this thing. So me, it's like the guy won't find its way in the club. I don't know. Maybe it's the way West Ham are playing, them not being good enough. I don't know, but I'm not feeling. I would rather take Morgan Rogers than take what's his name, Kudus.
Yeah. Last season, the season that just ended, his performance actually dropped. West Ham in general, their performances dropped.
Yeah.
But then Kudu, I think in his first season he had, was he 8 goals or so in his first season? So, but last season it wasn't so good. I understand why. I mean, Rogers looks more because Rogers is more in form, basically. So that's why.
That I hear your viewpoint on Kudus, but this team is lacking a ball carrier. You know that we don't have a ball carrier. We do not have.
Definitely.
So Kudus is that guy that can give.
Kovacic, yeah.
Yeah, Kovacic was the last guy. So Morgan Rogers and Kudus are the only two players that can do the ball carrying for you.
That's what I'm saying. That I don't know for Kudus, I'm not impressed, but I'd rather go with Morgan Rogers. But I know Aston Villa will cut Chelsea for that.
Aston Villa will sell because they have a PSL problem. They will sell.
They will sell, but the price is the problem.
Yeah, they say according to Rumo, they are selling it for 70 million.
Wow.
Yeah, 70. Yeah, they have a PSL problem. They will sell. They have a PSL problem. They will sell. They have a PSL problem. They will sell. They can't escape it because they didn't get into the Champions League. So they have to sell one of their big stars to be able to balance the book. Same thing with West Ham United. West Ham United need to sell by June 30th because of the fiscal year in the Premier League. They have to sell by June 30th one of their big stars. They're not selling Jared Bowen. He's a captain. It's not in the market. So the player that can sell right now is Mohamed Kudus. They have to sell Kudus for them to be able to balance the book because they have a PSL problem too. They have to sell.
But I just pray we sign Mike.
One of them, for me, we will sign one of Morgan Rogers or Kudus. We will sign one of them. Who do I want? It's a tough situation. I like Morgan Rogers and I also love Kudus too. So it's a tough situation to be into. If I have to pick, probably I will lean towards Kudus. Why I will lean towards Kudus is I like what I saw from Kudus. Morgan Rogers is not bad. I like him a lot. He's technically good. He can drive the ball, can do so many stuff. But what I like in Kudus is what Kudus will give me is in a team that is functional, settled, Kudus will give me the directness I need. Because I know Kudus can beat 1, 2, 3, 4 players and he will shoot. Kudus might like the high Q a little bit because he's playing for West Ham. But in a settled team that is playing very well, you see Kudus balling out. Even West Ham being shit, you can still see the impact of Kudus. He scored goals. He also assists also too. So if I have to pick, I'll pick Kudus. I know people will say Rogers. Rogers is not a bad player, but I'll pick Kudus for me. I'll pick Kudus because you need that ball. We don't have a ball carrier in the team. We do not have a ball carrier. We don't. So we don't have a ball carrier. So I'll probably go for Kudus. Crazy, who do you go for? Morgan Rogers or Kudus?
Well, ideally, before the season that just ended, I would have said Kudus, but then Rogers has also done a fair amount of ball playing. But honestly, I still think Kudus is the better option, not just in terms of his output, but as in terms of all-round play. Kudus can play for me, he's more versatile in terms of he can actually deliver on either on the flanks, playing as a 10, and then
Yes.
false 9 as well. So for me, he's more versatile, but that does not mean Rogers is not a good player. Rogers is equally talented, and I would not
Very
be
good
sad
player.
if we call Rogers, but my preference is Kudus.
Mohamed Kudus, yeah. Okay. Darren, you want Kudus or Morgan Rogers? I know you want Rogers too, so you can give your take on Rogers.
Definitely, I want Rogers, see him playing, but what's crazy is just analyze also, Kudus has that ability that you keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and there's one thing about him. We like calling him a workaholic. I don't know. Yes, you keep on pushing, and that is an advantage for you. If you watch the team, if you watch when he's playing, you could see how he transition, fix himself in different position. That's giving edges over others. But the form matters also. That's why I said I will choose what we call him Rogers. But
Kudus.
I'm not
So
saying
Rogers.
this is bad, but Rogers.
I
Rogers for now.
I like Rogers too. I like Rogers, but I love what I see from Kudus because I know if I have Kudus in the team, I know what I know what I want. I also if I also have Rogers, so I have no problem with Rogers. But based on what I've seen and what I think this Chelsea team need, I will lean towards Kudus for me because people are forgetting if Jackson go to AFCON, we're gonna be left with the lap only as a striker. So you might have to push Kudus as a number 9. You might have to do it because Nicolas Jackson will go to AFCON with Senegal. You are left with the lap. With Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. So you might have to buy Kudus and just push him there Kudus play there for because Ghana did not qualify for AFCON. They only make it to the World Cup. They didn't qualify for AFCON. So Kudus will have enough rest. And he can play, he can play he's played as a center forward for West Ham and he's done very well. So you can play him there before Jackson come back. You can play him there. So it's versatile. It's like an utility player where he plays on the right, he plays on the left, he can play in the middle, he can play anywhere. Because you can trust him to be able to deliver for you. Kudus is is a technical bowler. Same thing with Morgan Rogers too. Both of them are very good players. Now the problem now is the price. I don't think Chelsea is gonna because he has a release clause of 85. I do not think Chelsea will pay that amount of money. I don't think so. So can they come into negotiation or to compromise? I'm not sure. But I know they like what Matlow said. Kudus is the dream signing for the ball. They want Kudus. So how much are they willing to spend? That I don't know. How much do you guys think we'll spend on him?
Kudus? Do you mean Kudus?
Yes, Kudus, yes.
West Ham, West Hamites, let me say 60. Let me say 60, 50. 50 is a deal for us. We just hope him. It's a nice signing also, but I'm seeing the news that some people are saying he's worth 85 million. I was like, well, 60 would be a bad move for him though.
Does he have a release clause in his contract? Do you know if he has a
That's
release
what
clause in it?
that is what I want to check now.
If he has a release clause, that's a whole different conversation. But if he doesn't, yeah, that is a fair price. Between 50 to 60, anything within that range is decent enough considering the crazy transfer market fees we've been hearing around. That would be a fair amount. And besides, West Ham wouldn't. I think that's a respectable amount that West Ham wouldn't look down on too much.
Yeah,
As much
sure.
as the player has a lot of talent and he can deliver, you still have to factor in the fact that he didn't exactly have a wonderful season.
Season.
This season I just dead now, so the form is
But
also
I
going
don't
to
think I
affect
don't
the
think
form.
I don't think that will be a factor. I don't
No,
think
it
that will be
will. It will. Look, this is the thing. If a player is
because
hot, right, and a lot of clubs are coming in for him, it raises the players it raises the club's ability to negotiate for a
yes,
higher fee, right?
yes,
But if a player has not been, this is the truth of it. Kudus was quiet last season. He was completely quiet last season.
yeah.
It's not like the other season where Premier League was carrying him left and right and down. His pictures and the PR was crazy. It's not the same
I
thing
don't.
last season. So
I saw.
it,
I think he had like 85 million release clause for Premier League clubs.
ah, that one is not happening there now. 85 million,
And
okay.
again, a news came out. Newcastle. Sorry, West Ham. West Ham was like, Chelsea was like considering giving Sanchez to West Ham and you know give them a. I saw the news on transfer news like Sanchez go to West Ham and Kudus to Chelsea with 70 million. I was like, wow, well, that price is high. That price is high.
If with Sanchez included, it's still 70 something.
70.
70. That's mad. That is mad. Yeah, I did see a report that Potter wants to be reunited
Yeah,
with Sanchez. Obviously,
Sanchez.
they were together at Brighton. However, in that deal, and all we can shave off is 15 off his release clause to 70.
Okay,
Man, that is still
okay.
high.
Okay,
You
they said
can.
the 85 release clause is until mid July. So I think after mid July, I think the release clause price will have to drop. So let's see,
Exactly.
let's see.
If
The
if
transfer
that no
window is
longer
still open.
factors in, yes, yes. So if that the transfer window will be open till September 1st. So
September. Okay.
if that no longer factors in, then I think Chelsea will be able to reach a negotiation because I don't see many clubs coming for the player, even though it's still early. But I've not seen a lot of links. And if Chelsea can get an agreement early enough, then we should be able to 65, sorry, 60, 55 is a reasonable amount. And I think West Ham will be forced to think about it because that they can do a lot
That's
with that.
yeah,
And then
that's a
if
big foot on the hand. Yeah.
we get include Sanchez into that deal somehow, that is even better for them.
So that's it. So if the club can just get me Gittins and Kudus, I think I will be happy though. I don't want anything on natural big. Please.
My guy, like I don't even understand the obsession with Garnacho. I don't know why the links won't just go away, man. We have suffered in
But
this club.
I
We have
think it will
suffered.
just be links. I don't think it will happen because never happened.
I hope it never happens because but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. For example, I knew like when we were linked with Felix, I kept telling everybody that that is not going to happen, and then it happened. I knew it wasn't going to work out. The kind of player he is, the way Maresca was playing
Yeah.
then, and the expectation of the team, I just knew it wasn't going to work out, but it still happened. I was very surprised. That was when these people shocked me so much. I don't doubt anything again. But at this point in time, where we need players that can deliver on the flanks, bringing in somebody like Ganacho that is not reliable, it's going to be a problem. And the player is quite frustrating, and he's rather full of himself for somebody that has not you. It's having your ego is not a problem for me when you can back it up. If somebody like Palmer decides to show attitude, I say yes, he's a baller, he can back it up. But when you have not yet reached that level to deliver, and you want to now start showing ego, that's why I have problems with you, and that's one of the many issues I have with Ganacho. Hopefully that deal never happens, and we actually get in the proper targets that can help. I would have loved for Gittens to come in for this Club World Cup, but it's not too late. I was reading somewhere that we are actually supposed to have 35 players, but we only took
Yes,
28.
yes, yes.
And I think after the group stage, we can still add more players. So if we're able to get Gittins when the transfer window opens again on 16th of July, I think we'll be able to put him in the Club World Cup squad as well, because that's basically our preseason.
Okay. So I think the only people going for Mohamed Kudus is Newcastle and Chelsea. That is the links. Okay.
Oh, okay. I mean Newcastle. Why would they go for? Okay, yes, yes. I mean, it's understandable why. If it comes down to the bidding war, I don't think we'll be able to. I don't think. Anyway, Chelsea is more stable than Newcastle in terms of PSR. The report I saw, I think we have the better financial uh, standing, so we might still be able to. But
So
if it goes down to a bidding war, we may be forced to go and pay back to that 85 something million again. So I rather we wrap things up early, give them Sanchez, take Potter, take your guy, give us kudos, collect this 50 M, collect this 45, whatever. Everybody smiles, we're happy. Something that Matt Law said about the goalkeeping situation, that is something that is worrying me a little. We we don't seem to know what our plans are for the goalkeeping department going into next season, and that is a worry for me. Um, we need seeing how very important the goalkeeper is to the way we play, and then basically finding a stable number one. Since Mendy, we have not found a number one that we're really comfortable with, and that is
Yeah,
a challenge. We have uh, keepers. We have so many goalkeepers that can even make the starting 11, and yet we still don't have a clear, you know,
a
number
good
one that can do things. And then with the situation with Petrovic not going to the Club World Cup and all of those reports, and then the club going to sign Mike Mignan and then moving as if they don't really want to sign him. There's a lot of things happening there. It's crazy.
it's I I don't want to blame Chelsea too much on the Magna deal, Mike deal, because this AC Milan, they move like I don't understand. A guy that is probably like a year down his contract, or are they having assurance that you will sign another contract with them? I don't just understand. So why not just take the? I think Chelsea over up to 18 million, right?
No, it was actually 12 million. The other this thing was add-ons, performance-based
No,
add-ons and all of that.
no. Chelsea could have offered up to like 15 or like 17 million. We'll have get this guy and to give a very good boost into that defense. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was just yeah. We don't like maybe there is a factor. This guy was not on the Club World Cup list. So after the Club World Cup now, we might go for a goalkeeper and then Petrovic obviously be sold or something. Let's just keep watching how they move. Keep watching how they move.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I have a strong feeling that Petrovic is going to be sold, even before, because at the end of last season when he was sent out on loan, it didn't make sense to me, especially considering the fact that we brought in Jorgensen. I thought it was going to, I figured we were going to get a clear improvement on Sanchez, but we just got another
yeah,
backup. So, Petrovic right now, with everything, I think is going to be sold. My considerations now is how do we balance things out? Because if Petrovic is sold, Mike coming in, I don't know if Sanchez will be okay with. I don't really care whether he's okay with it, but I don't think he'll be okay with being second choice. So he may also get sold with our links to Potter at West Ham. So that then leaves us back to Jorgensen and Mike Penders, Gaga Slonina, and the rest of the Goalkeeper FC. I also saw links that were linked to is it Trafford or whoever. So there is still a lot of
upward care.
honestly, I'm just a guy. Honestly, I am just exhausted. After signing so many goalkeepers, the fact that we are still going about this entire thing, it's like every transfer window we are going after this, we are trying to solve the same thing over and over again. It's a bit tiresome. But I do hope they find a proper solution to it this time around, and we can go for a season, and like for like 2 seasons, say no, we are covered in a particular department. We don't need to go and sign backups or whatever again. Because it's very frustrating.
Honestly. So okay.
Where has Abdullah gone to? She all the food he was eating, plenty, plenty now has carried him somewhere.
I know right away. I was doing something. I was hearing you guys. So that was I was hearing you guys. I didn't run away.
Okay.
I was hearing you guys. I was just doing something at the background. That was why. I was hearing you guys. But truth to be told,
Okay.
everything you guys said were actually right. Though. Like, it's actually right. With the goalkeeper direction and everything, I don't know where we're going to. like this is my problem with West Ham now because West, like I always say, West Ham need to sell because they have a PSL. They need to sell. Whether people like it or not, they need to sell because they have a PSL problem. But the question now boils down to how much. Because I don't see Chelsea. If Chelsea cannot pay 100 million for a critic, I don't see us paying 85 for people. It's not
That would be
possible.
awful. That is stupid business to make today.
It's not possible. So can they come into comp because Matlow said Juice Hall will leave. I said West Ham want Juice Hall. So they want Juice Hall too. So are we going to give them Juice Hall with Sanchez and 50 million or 45 million for Kudos? Do they accept that? I don't know.
Giving
It
them two
depends on
players
them.
with 45 million. That is not a good business.
Or 30. Let's say 30 plus two players like Jules Hall and Sanchez combined together. Will they accept that? I don't know. Like I said, they need to sell Kudus. They have a PSL, same with Aston Villa. Both of them need to sell. By June 30th, they need to sell Kudus because of the fiscal year in APL. They have a serious PSL problem. They need to sell. If they do not sell, they're going to be in serious trouble. They need to sell. They have a fiscal problem. They have to sell. They have to
I
sell.
mean, ideally, it would be a good deal for them because apart from the fact that they'll be settling things with PSR, getting a goalkeeper and a midfielder, an attacking midfielder is a very good business for them, So, but at the same time, I think it's going to be higher than 30 because we got Sanchez for 25. Nobody's giving you 25 for Sanchez. At best, 10, 15.
I know.
Forgetting what we got KDH for. Was it
Yeah, I think
KDH? How much did we
we
get him
bought him
for?
for 30 million or something like that, 20, 25.
Yeah, exactly. So at best, you combine both of them, what you get is 30-35. Take that away from his release clause, and you're back to 50, right? So, but if we can negotiate something, so I'm seeing around 35, 40 with those two players included. I think that would be a good deal for West Ham, 40M, trying to offset the PSR issues, and then getting two players reinforcing. It's very good business. West Ham is something they will have to consider because even if you give them, if you give them, if you pay, let's say you pay 65, 70M, after that, asking them to go and buy a goalkeeper and a midfielder, they will still spend almost the whole distance. So Chelsea
Yeah.
giving them, it's a good deal for both parties. They will be forced to consider it.
But sometimes West Ham are stubborn because they have a new sporting director that negotiates this with them. But I think with Graham Potter pushing for Sanchez, I think this club World Cup will prove to me if Sanchez will be the number one or not. Because like I said, I have a weird feeling Penders will start ahead of him. And I think Maresca will want to trust Penders because he have seen Jorgensen and he has seen Sanchez. He want to see Penders and say, okay, he's 19. Can I trust him in a big game, in a big tournament in Club World Cup? Because people say he's young. Yamin is 17. I always tell people, you are as young as you are. If you are good enough, you're old enough. So he's 19, I know. And I've seen a lot of clip about him. He's good. But the fear about them, he didn't experience, is not ready yet. But if you can prove his worth in this Club World Cup, who knows? He might be the starting goalkeeper ahead of Sanchez. And that will force Sanchez to leave the club. That will force him to go. That will force him to leave. Then if that happens, do we go back for Mike Mayan or do we stick with with Pendas? That's a big question mark. I have no answer for. I have no answer for.
A reality
Because I have
where
a
Mike,
feeling Pendas will play. How many matches will he play? I don't know.
I mean, a world where Penders is so, is so exceptional that we are able to sell Sanchez. That would be a perfect world. However, I don't see that happening. I
You're not
think
the
he
only
still
one.
has a lot. Yeah, he still has a lot to learn, and Look, getting Mike Mignan is very important for this team, regardless of whether Sanchez goes or stays. Mignan
Mm-hmm.
is he has a lot of quality that he's going to add outside of goalkeeping alone. The fact that he's a captain, he is a leader. He has won things with the national side and then with AC Milan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a lot the player brings. So the keep other goalkeepers like Pendas and the other youngsters that are going to be coming up stand to gain a lot learning from him.
Yeah.
And he's what
Mm-hmm.
he's 30 now, so it's not like he's one of those long-term signings. He's going to be here for 2 seasons at most. So what
Yeah,
it
Pendas is
tells
like
people
19.
like
He signed
Pendas
it. He
is
signed an
that,
8 years contract. He signed 8 years contract, so it's gonna be here for a long time.
yeah, yeah.
If Mike
So
sign, I think Mike will sign 5 years. I think Mike will sign 5 years because of Maresca. Maresca will not want him to sign 3 years because Maresca is gonna be here for 5 years, and they want to beat with Maresca. I have that feeling that what they are doing is if they bring in Mike, they want to groom Jorgensen and Pendas to be able to be a backup to Mike. So because sometimes injury might occur, but somebody might step in.
yeah,
Now, if Mike is exceptional, that it is had to be just this like Manuel Neuer would say to retire. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is.
yeah. I mean a lot. Basically, the performance on the Club World Cup is going to be an eye opener for a lot of things, right?
Yeah, a lot of players,
But
a lot of them.
I, I would be very surprised if Pendas performs to a level where
It won't
we have to
surprise me
reconsider
because he is a
signing
good goalkeeper. He's very good. It won't surprise me. He's very good. I just have this word feeling that
him.
this is where when Dario was talking that he said he's praying and hoping clearly allow Maresca to coach. Don't interfere, just allow him to coach. Because if Maresca coach, it's tend to make good decisions. But if the club are stepping in, it's going to be difficult for Maresca to have a say when it comes to decision making. That's my fear. Just allow him to coach.
Mm.
Yes, he make mistake, no problem. Allow him to coach. Just allow him. Don't step in. Just leave him alone. We win together, we lose
Unfortunately,
together. He's the
I don't see
manager.
that. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening with these people. They
I
they
know.
can't help themselves. They always like touching things, coming to see things, forcing players on managers and all of that. You have given him the resources. Let him do his thing. And
Mhm.
I don't feel like I feel bad for Maresca a lot of times because um if they would just allow him do what he wants to do, I think would be far better off than where we are even currently,
And
even
I
though
think I
he's
like
trying
why I
very good.
said they should allow him to do what he want to do. Remember, last season we bought Felix. Maresca did not like Felix. He was telling the
He
ownership
didn't
and the
even
board,
want him.
this player is not my
He
player.
did it
I
was
don't want him.
clear.
I do
It
not.
was
Him and
clear.
Nkunku, those are not my player. I don't want him. I don't want them. Those two players are not part of my plan. I'm sorry. Especially Felix,
It
because if
was
you
very
remember very
clear.
well, if you remember very well, there were some matches where Palmer was not informed. I'm like, play Felix now. Maresca will not play Felix. We would rather play George or someone. I'm like, why? I'm like, clearly, this man doesn't even rate Felix. So if they can allow him to
Nah, I
coach,
mean
then
the
we
way we
might, we
play,
might see.
yeah, and I think he'll be able to deliver if they stop meddling. He will deliver better, I mean, if they stop meddling with him. So, but let's see how things go, though. Let's see how things
I
go.
just have this
He
weird
likes
feeling
the lap. They have
because,
gotten the lap for him.
yes, I know. And I can say with fact, he wants Mike Mayan. I know that for fact. I know that for fact.
And
Is it
then
those
that's
briefing
also
that are giving out is rubbish? Those are rubbish briefing. Those are rubbish. I know you like Mike because Maresca is Italian, so he's gonna be watching a lot of Italian football. He knows what he wants. He knows what he wants. I just have this weird feeling
true.
where
And
this club World Cup will be an eye opener. I don't think Maresca trusts Sanchez because if there's a better goalkeeper than Jorgensen and Sanchez, I think Maresca will play them. For me, I think he will play
and
them. But because there is no better goalkeeper, he's taking away. And people are saying Sanchez is born to make mistakes. That Bozo moment will never leave Sanchez. He will never leave. It's in him. Now, If you bet Sanchez, do you trust Jorgensen? I do not. As much as I want him to be given much playing time, I don't trust him. Yeah, I do not. I do not. Yet,
Yeah.
that's my fear. Now, Club World Cup is a big tournament. Do I trust Penders? My only fear is the age. That's my only fear because he's 19. Is he ready to be able to? Because as a goalkeeper, you must have the mentality. Thibaut Courtois was 19 when we brought him from Genk. From there, he went on loan one season and he came back. He was like, I don't feel like Chelsea wants me. I want to leave. He won the Premier League title with Antonio Conte and he did. He went to Atletico Madrid. From there, he went to Madrid. So Chelsea doesn't want a situation like that with Penders. And this is what now the key now. Do they trust him to say, okay, we don't care about what the media said, we do not care. You're gonna be the number one, you're gonna be the number one, we don't care. Champions League, Premier League, anything, you're the number one. If that can happen with Penders, if everybody can have the same like alignment together, I think we are good to go. If you're gonna die and ride with a young player, die and ride with him. He's a young goalkeeper. That's it.
I mean, ultimately, it comes down to the performance of Penders himself, what
Yes.
he will be able to deliver. If he makes the conversation difficult for the club, obviously
Yes,
that
he
would be
will.
a very, very wonderful
And it will
situation.
give Maresca a big decision to make. It will give him a big one to make.
Exactly.
Because if Maresca
Exactly.
starts him and he had performed to the level, like even the fans, I'm like, "What? Sanchez, you can get the fuck out. We don't even want you anymore. We can throw this. It's all about the fans having trust in the goalkeeper. If the fans can align with the goalkeeper, can trust him, believe me, it's over for Sanchez. There's nothing Maresca can do. And there's nothing the ownership can do anymore. It's all about having that trust in him and say, it's all about do we trust him? Even if we trust him, because he's young, Maresca will be a little want to protect him. But I just have this weird feeling that Maresca will play him. Then, now it's all about him to seize the opportunity. Maresca will play him. It's about him grabbing the opportunity and say, boss, this is my position. I'm not leaving it. I'm not.
Well,
We'll
I
see.
guess he's going to give it a chance. So let's see what he does.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see. So, guys, like the vid guy, please subscribe to the channel, guys. I appreciate everybody that tuned in today. That were crazy and people in the chat. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to do the transfer, this and everything. If there's any news tomorrow, Sunday, we'll talk. But Monday, we'll be back here for the post-match reaction of our first match in the Club World Cup. We might be doing a watch along. I have to wait and see. Possibly maybe the quarterfinal or the semis. I don't know yet. Or I have to see how I can fix that. But we'll be back for the post-match reaction of the Club World Cup from the beginning of the Club World Cup to the end of the Club World Cup. We'll be here to do the reaction, talk about it, what we see that can improve, what we watch, and everything. But before that, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you like the video, and make sure you subscribe. It's very, very important. We're on the way to 3K. We are looking forward to get our monetization tag ready. It will be ready soon. We are working on that also too. But before that, make sure you turn on your notification when we go live. You're gonna be aware that we go live. Before that, like the video, guys, subscribe, smash the like button, guys. And people, peace out. God bless the safe. Peace, guys.